Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Lin Sok. That was an amazing intro, by the way. My name is Lin Sok. I'm going to be here with you today for this Monday edition of Lunch and Learn. Big shout out to Creator X and the Numerics community for giving me this opportunity and for doing all these Lunch and Learns. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook. They're amazing in terms of the Montreal community. So today I'm going to talk about mortgages. And today I'm going to give you 7 tips to getting a mortgage when you're a freelancer. So to just give you a little bit of my background, I'm a Montreal-based financial security advisor. I'm also a mutual funds dealer representative. And recently I decided to jump into the world of mortgage brokerage. So as you all know, it's a hot real estate market right now. Times are tough if you're a buyer. You've probably heard that there are so many properties that are going up far well and beyond whatever the listing price is. But today I'm just going to calm things a little bit down and put everything into perspective on what the housing market is like and what to do when you yourself are a freelancer in a hot real estate market. Just before I start, though, I just want to say something, just a general comment. A lot of people ask me the same questions. Will rates go up? Will housing prices go down? Is now the right time to buy real estate, or should I wait? And the short answer is you can't time the market. I know this is a favorite answer of everybody, whether you're talking about real estate or if you're talking about investments, you cannot time the market. The truth of the matter is the reason why we're in the situation that we're in is because mortgage rates are so low and there's not enough inventory. There aren't enough houses on the market that are available for sale. So a lot of people, what they're doing is because interest rates are so low, they're rushing to buy their first house. I'm meeting so many first-time home buyers and they want to buy now because interest rates are so low. The reality is that during the duration of your mortgage, you have to remember at some point, your rates are going to go up. So you can't really look at the mortgage rates today because what's going to happen 5 years from now when you renew your mortgage? Chances are the rates aren't going to be as low as they are today. So that's just a little footnote to what I'm going to talk about today. Getting back to the topic at hand, 7 tips to getting a mortgage when you're a freelancer. Number 1, my biggest pet peeve, guys, stop calling yourself a freelancer. Okay, I've been in the finance industry for many, many years, and this has always been a pet peeve of mine. Banks don't know what a freelancer is. Banks don't know what a gig worker is. Banks don't know or care if you're an Uber driver or if you do graphic design on the side or if you do, painting for your neighbors from time to time. What they want to know is how much income you declare, how you declare it, and what your business is registered as. Are you a sole proprietor? Are you self-employed? Are you incorporated? How much money do you declare? Do you declare on your income tax return? That's what lenders want to know. And to put everything into perspective, the reason why is because basically you, Mr. or Mrs. John Smith, are going up to a potential lender and asking them for a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 loan. They want to make sure you could pay it back. So stop calling yourself a freelancer, put on your big boy pants or big girl pants and start acting like a business person. And this is something that it's been a pet peeve of mine for many years. If you've ever attended one of my webinars, I talk about it often. I often meet gig workers, influencers, and freelancers who don't, it's almost like they put down what they do for a living. This is all how you earn an income. So it's very important. Please stop calling yourself a freelancer because the lenders want to know how you make money and how much you declare. So that's number 1. Stop calling yourself a freelancer. And this doesn't just apply for mortgages. This applies for your finances as well. If you want to be your own boss and own your own company, you need to manage your business finances like a business. Number 2 is work with a mortgage broker. I'm a little biased about this, but the reason is, actually, let me step back a bit. So people often ask me, what's the difference between a mortgage specialist and a mortgage broker? So I'm going to give you the simple, most transparent answer, and both sides might not be happy that I'm giving this answer to you. Mortgage specialists work within a branch. So they're trained, they're product trained within a bank to sell their products. I work with many excellent mortgage specialists, but their role is to offer products for the bank that they represent. Mortgage brokers, on the other hand, they have a gamut of products and solutions that they could offer to you. They are allowed to work with almost any bank and almost any lender. And this is where there's a gray line in between the two, because I'll be honest, and again, this is something that isn't always transparent. There are certain products that are only available through a mortgage specialist at the bank. Okay, but mortgage brokers in general, what they could do is they could shop around for the best rate for you. And if you have a good mortgage broker who understands the market and understands the products that are out there, they are confident enough to tell you that, hey, what you're looking for is only available at XYZ Bank. Here's a mortgage specialist. They're going to take care of you. So work with a mortgage broker, because they're going to be able to assess your situation properly. And if they're a good, transparent mortgage broker, they'll be able to tell you, hey, what you're looking for is only available at this bank, and here's my contact person over there. They'll be able to take care of you. The third thing you need to do is get pre-approved. So oftentimes I meet clients who want to buy their first property, but they don't really see the need to getting pre-approved. I have a good job. I have some down payment. I don't really understand the need to being for getting pre-approved. I'll tell you what the reason is. The reason is, imagine going into a car dealership and wanting to buy a Mercedes SL 500, but when it comes to the financing, only to find out that you can only qualify for a Kia Rio. There's a big difference between the two. You have to understand that what you think you could afford, you might not qualify for that loan. So it's very important to get a pre-approval so that you know what you're working with. Just imagine going into a house, visiting the property, it's the home of your dreams, and you make an offer and it's accepted, only to find out 5 or 10 days later that you don't qualify for financing. It's very emotional. Buying your first property is a very emotional roller coaster. So I don't understand why people don't go ahead and get pre-approved, because wouldn't you want to know how much you would qualify for? It's so important, especially in this day and age when the real estate market is so hot. Oftentimes you can't even visit a property without having a pre-approval letter. So that's my third point, get pre-approved. You don't want to get your heart broken by making an offer on a property that's the home of your dreams and finding out 5 to 10 days later that you can't pass financing. It's going to hurt. Okay, next is get your proof of income in order. So remember I said in the first point to stop calling yourself a freelancer. The bank doesn't care that you're a freelancer or an influencer or a gig worker or you have a side hustle. They don't care about that. They want to know how you make money. So get your proof of income together. What type of documents you need to present depends on how you declare your income. Are you self-employed? Are you a salaried employee of your incorporation? If you are incorporated, you need to be able to show your financial statements. You also, if you're self-employed, need to prepare your T1 generals for the last 2 years. The T1 generals are the documents that you send to the government. Once your income tax return is filed, you'll receive your notice of assessments. You'll also need a copy of those in order to qualify for a mortgage. You also have to be prepared to show that you don't have a balance owing to either the Quebec government or the federal government. If it does show a balance owing, we need to see that there was a payment made and your current balance is at 0. Next is understand your down payment. This is another pet peeve of mine. Oftentimes I'll email a client or I'll ask them, what's the dollar amount of the down payment that you're ready to make? And 9 times out of 10, they'll answer 5 or 10%. I don't know what 5 or 10% is. I don't know if it's 5% of $300,000. I don't know if it's 5% of $1 million. If I'm asking you for the dollar amount of your down payment, I want the dollar amount. Are you able to put 20,000? But you have 40,000, but you'd rather stick around 20. Are you ready to put $70,000, but you have $20,000 in RRSP, so that's some potential income. Understand your down payment and open up honestly to your mortgage broker and let them know how much you have readily available for your down payment. If you're being gifted the down payment, you want to talk to your mortgage broker to find out what you need to prepare to show that it's a gift. Because the lenders want to make sure that whatever money you're receiving, let's say from your parents or your grandparents or a brother or sister, they want to make sure that it's a gift and not a loan. Right? So whatever it is that you're using in terms of the down payment for your first home or for your property, you have to understand what your down payment is and explain it and be clear to your mortgage broker so that they're able to assess your situation properly. In Canada, if you make a down payment of less than 20% of the purchase price, you're going to have what's called an insured mortgage. So if you're applying for a mortgage and you're putting less than 20% down, not only do you have to qualify in terms of the lender, but you also have to qualify in terms of the mortgage insurer. In Canada, there are 3 mortgage insurers, the CMHC, Sagen, and Canada Guarantee. So in addition to your mortgage payments that you're going to make, you will have to pay an additional mortgage insurance premium. So these are all important little details that you should be discussing with your mortgage broker. You really need to understand your down payment, how much you're ready to make, and where it's coming from. And again, you have to disclose everything to your mortgage broker, because there's nothing worse than working with a client and you keep asking them, are you sure this is how much you have? Show me the bank statement. Show me your investment statements. I want to see what it is. There's a reason we won't ask all these questions. It's so that we're not wasting our time and you're not wasting your time. So be transparent and be open and honest with your mortgage broker. We're not here to judge. We want you to get this mortgage as much as you do, but you have to be honest with us. Next point is, I always suggest to work with a realtor. So there's a misconception that when you're the buyer, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you a portion of the commission. The truth is that the only people who pay commission are the sellers. So I always suggest that if you're purchasing, if you're looking around for your first home, to find yourself a realtor. I have plenty. If anybody wants to reach out, I know some of them who I work with, and they're great. They listen well. They listen to your needs. They're very active. They have a very active approach. So I would suggest that you go visit these properties with a realtor for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you see the house of your dreams or the condo of your dreams, your realtor will be able to look up that property to see what the deal is. Were there other offers? How long has it been listed? Has it been listed for a long time, and why? Is there an inspection report in there? What are the declarations in the listing of the property? These are all pieces of information that we as the general public don't have access to. So it might be a time saver for you instead of going on your own. If you do go on your own to go see a property, then the listing agent represents you in that case. Yes, I have a comment from Patrick. I have so many who wanted a commission if they were shopping around with me and get paid from the seller. Basically, what happens is if you have 2 realtors if you have a buyer and a selling realtor, they'll split the commission. So if you are the buyer and shopping around, I always suggest to work with a realtor. Have that realtor represent you, because it will save you from visiting a bunch of properties that have issues with them, or the realtor could check in advance before you go to visit and let you know what the issues are. So that way you could decide as a buyer, is it worth it? Do I mind if there are these issues? And then you can make that decision. Next thing is, a lot of people ask me about real estate investing when you're self-employed. You could absolutely get into real estate investing when you're self-employed. The key is getting your money team together. So your money team is mortgage broker, financial advisor, accountant, and a good real estate lawyer once you get to that point. Real estate investing is very complex, but it's possible and doable. And it's something that I've started to get into personally. And I encourage everybody out there to look into it and just get a general idea of what it's about, because it could be great passive income for you. So getting your money team together is top priority. And who does that include? Again, it includes a mortgage broker, financial advisor, accountant, and a real estate lawyer. One of the questions that gets asked often is, if I start buying multiple properties, should I incorporate? The answer is, it depends. I would love to say that, yes, you should go ahead and get incorporated, or no, but the answer is, it depends on each person's situation. Not only does this apply to mortgages and real estate, but it also applies to real life. Oftentimes I run into clients who've been advised by their friends and family that they should incorporate, whether it's their business or their real estate holding company, that they should go ahead and incorporate. What everybody fails to mention to them is that your income tax return is going to be more expensive. Your tax filing is going to be more expensive. And if it's just not viable in what your business is, then it wasn't a good move, right? So don't necessarily listen to your friends and family. They're always looking out for us, but sometimes they just don't know. It's right up there with COVID-19 and all of this information that's online that gets misconstrued. Get your money team together. If you want any referrals, you could reach out to me. There are plenty of networking groups online where people are ready to refer other professionals, but it's so important to get your money team together. Don't make a decision because your neighbor did it. Don't make a decision just because your best friend did it. You really need to look out for what's best for you, and you might have to interview different professionals in order to get the right answers and meet the right people to be part of your team. So I'm not sure if there are any questions, but that was more or less what I wanted to talk about today. Again, going back to what I opened up with, a lot of people are asking me, is now the right time? Rates are so low, but housing prices are so high. Well, guess what? It's all relative, because at some point, housing prices will maybe decrease slightly, but rates will go up, right? During the duration of your mortgage, even if you get a low rate today, at some point, you're going to be paying a higher mortgage rate. So it's all relative. You can't time it. If you find the home of your dreams and it's something that you can afford, and it's something that you qualify for, then you might not care how much it costs. You might not care that it's $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 over asking price, because this is the home of your dreams. This is where you want to raise your family. This is where you want your children to grow up. This is where you want your grandkids to come to. So it really depends. If anybody wants to reach out to me, you can do so. You could find me online on social media. You can also send me an email either at lynn@sohanfinancial.com or lynn.sok@grouporbis.com. I'm easily accessible, ready to answer any of your questions as it pertains to mortgages or finance in general. If I can't help you, someone on my team will be able to help you. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in.